So this week's video is going to be a little different than my normal writing vlogs, and as I mentioned in my previous writing vlog about my CliftonStrengths test, I am going to be focusing this week on one of my strengths, which is input. Now, since I've been home, I've been finding it very hard to do my normal writing vlogs where I talk about specific aspects of my day and my writing because every day is different and I can't seem to find the time to do all of the things I want to do. And sometimes it really does feel a bit suffocating, so I've been sort of shirking my duties on writing vlogs and I've been really missing them. So instead of doing little video snippets about my day by day, I'm just gonna sit down right here with you and have a little chatty video about what I've been up to. Now, recently I've discovered the author Becca Syme and how she coaches authors based on their CliftonStrengths. Now, after taking their assessment, I've been working on at least one of my strengths per day, and I have to say I've been super productive for it. Now, this week I'm going to focus on my number 5 strength, which I mentioned is input. And FYI, in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, according to the Gallup.com website, the CliftonStrengths assessment unlocks your talent DNA. This online test measures your specific order of 34 CliftonStrengths themes. This is your talent DNA. It explains the unique way you accomplish your goals by building relationships, thinking strategically, executing plans, and influencing others. So I become very self-aware of these strengths and weaknesses in my personality and have been embracing them. Now, since the lockdown, I've been pretty paralyzed with my writing, and that still continues even now. But I've had a lot of time of self-reflection during all of the time I'm spending not writing. And with the understanding of how my brain seems to work, I've been able to be productive where it matters currently. So according to my assessment when it comes to input, this is sort of what they say about it, and I think it depends on your specific results, but this is more of an overarching theme for input. People exceptionally talented in the input theme have a need to collect and archive. They may accumulate information, ideas, artifacts, or even relationships. Now, the reason this has really been my theme for the past week is for 2 reasons. I mentioned last week that my newsletter for my release of Barefoot on the Beach never went out. It really bummed me out, but it also gave me a sense of understanding about how unhappy I am with my newsletter as it currently stands. And I've also been given the rights back to my debut series from my publisher, and I'm interested in self-publishing it. So my normal routine for shiny object syndrome when something new comes up would be to just dive in and just figure out which thing looks good to me at the time, and I'd start working on that without any sort of research. But as I've taped my strengths on a post-it to my computer, I want to keep reminding myself of them. I really wanted to explore the strength of input. So what does that look like? Research. Lots and lots of research. So I took out a pad of paper. I have a yellow legal pad, and I just started writing what I wanted to do. So I started with my newsletter. I went onto Amazon and I searched for ebooks on newsletters because I would be able to get the information right away versus waiting for a physical book to arrive. So I found one and I devoured it in about 2 hours. And as I highlighted, a plan started to form in my mind. Now, if I wasn't focusing on input, I would have jumped onto MailerLite, which is the newsletter platform that I use, and start fixing things without a plan in place. So I spent most of the week focused on my newsletter, and this really took me a lot of focus in the beginning of the week, but as the week progressed, I got really excited to just do the newsletter and get more information about it versus sort of jumping to the next thing. Of course, I have self-publishing in the back of my mind, but I really wanted to focus on one thing at a time and work on strengthening my input strength. So with my newsletter, I created an onboarding sequence to the best of my knowledge from all of the research that I have done. It's still not perfect, but it's a whole heck of a lot better than it was before. And by the way, if you want to sign up for my newsletter and see this onboarding sequence, you can sign up below. And I promise I have a lot of fun things coming, so you don't want to miss it. So then I started to think about reader magnets. Now, reader magnets are usually a freebie that are given to you in exchange for your email to sign up for a newsletter. Now, I have a short story, a young adult paranormal that I wrote years ago that I was using for a while, and I sort of forgot about it. When I went into my MailerLite sequence, I realized it was still there. So I took that down for momentarily because I do want to look at it again, but I was also focusing on what I wanted to give my adult readers because I do have a wide backlist of genres and age ranges. I was thinking about maybe doing another story in the Wrapped Up for Christmas or Barefoot on the Beach world, but I'm still pondering that. If you are interested interested in a short story based on either of those, do let me know. And then I also wanted to offer something to writers. Because I do have this YouTube channel about writing, I wanted to offer something to you guys. So I'm still thinking about that. Maybe a checklist of sorts for a certain aspect of writing. I am still unsure about that. If you do have any ideas, do let me know in the comments. So this whole process toward the end of the week started moving into self-publishing. So I wanted to do a lot of input, a lot of research on self-publishing and what my steps are moving forward. Now there's a lot of steps to publishing a book traditionally, and there are even more steps when it comes to publishing a book by yourself. So I went to YouTube, I found some videos, but not really a ton that had the tangible information that I wanted. There was more chatty videos, and I am really looking for information, lists, posts, blog posts, whatever. So I turned to podcasts, and a lot of podcasters actually record their podcasts and put them up on YouTube as well. So I've been looking through some self-publishing podcasts, and I started making my list again for self-publishing. Also, what I've done is throughout the years, I've made a lot of writing friends in the self-publishing and traditional publishing paths, and I contacted 2 of them this week. One of them is a cover designer and a self-published author, and the other is a freelance editor, and she's just starting up her business, but I've been friends with her for years, and I really wanted to pick her brain about my book. She also blurbs my book, Soul Taken, when it first came out, so I thought she was the perfect person to speak to, and she was the first one I thought of when it came to editing. I am not sure at this point how much editing I want to do. It has already gone through the gamut of developmental edits, copy edits, and proofreading. I think I want to go in and fix a little bit of the language because my craft has changed throughout the years, but my first step with that is to actually read the books again and see how much work needs to get done. But through conversations with these 2 author friends of mine, I feel very comfortable moving forward with specific aspects of self-publishing, and through all of this researching and adding input, I don't feel as overwhelmed as I could be. So since then, I have turned those lists for my newsletter and self-publishing into more of a comprehensive list. I went to my notebook, I took it off because I had pages and pages from my legal pad, and I put it into different sections and made it a little more cohesive, so I'm able to look at a specific aspect, newsletter or self-publishing, and see what needs to get done and what order it needs to get done in. So they basically just look like long checklists, but they really helped me sort out all the information I've been receiving, and the process has really got me excited about working again. So then I had a talk with my mastermind group this week as well, and I've come up with several goals this week to accomplish to keep myself on those goals. So overall, I am sold on the aspect of working on my strengths to make myself a more productive individual, and adding these particular strengths into my process constantly will definitely help my productivity if this week is to say anything about it. I'm very excited to move forward into next week, and if you have any questions about the strengths or want to chat about anybody who loves research, because I'm starting to love it even more, let's chat in the comments below and keep this conversation going. So if you enjoyed this more chatty style video, do give this video a like, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you know the next time I post, and I'll see you soon.